Hey everyone. I wanted to share with you an important story. And this is my story of leaving the New Age and becoming a follower of Jesus Christ. Um, I'm going to be sharing with you how I grew up in the church, and then how I left God, I left religion, I left the church, I left all that, and started to seek and explore different kinds of spiritualities and beliefs and faiths. And then finding myself becoming a follower of Jesus. And yeah, it's the most important story for my life yet. So I'm a preacher's son. My father's a pastor, and I grew up in the church. Every Sunday I was there. Mom sang in the choir. I was steeped in it. You know, that was my ocean. That was the waters that I swam in, and I did it all. You know, Vacation Bible School and Sunday school and going on mission trips and you name it. Being a preacher's kid, you know. So once I got to be able to think for myself, kind of later high school, early college, I really started to question everything that I grew up in. Something just didn't feel right about it. I started to look elsewhere, and it's like, you guys are telling me that this is God. In church, the message is proclaiming that the God that we are talking about is the creator of the universe, of it all. And there was just, I think I felt a disconnect. There was just I was like, what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling and seeing is not the same thing. It's a bit hypocritical that I see you doing this, but then you're saying this. And why are you anti-homosexual? And why are you judgmental? And why does this feel like a dead, empty experience? So once I got to be able to think for myself in my late teen, early 20s, I was just like, peace out. I'm out of here. So I left it all. In fact, I remember in 2009, it was coming up on New Year's, and that was the year I was just like, you know what? I've felt so much. I've put so much pressure on myself too, from the guilt of, I think, being a preacher's son, and trying to live a sinless life, and then just beating myself up for being a sinner and sinning and not being able to do it right, and the pressure and the guilt was just too much. I was like, and in 2009, I remember my New Year's resolution was to have no resolutions. I was going to do whatever the heck I wanted to do. And I did. And it was amazing. It was incredible. I did it. I was like, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do drugs. I tried mushrooms. Expanding my world. I was like, I'm going to go to a rave. I saw Tiesto in this warehouse in 2009. The most euphoric experience ever. It's like, this is where God is. I didn't feel God in what you guys were talking about. I didn't feel God there. This is where it is. This is where I feel it. And so along that road, I was doing a lot of. I really got drawn into psychedelics. I really wanted to work with an organization called MAPS, and they use psychedelics for healing. And so I was dabbling in LSD and ketamine and mushrooms, and just really wanting to explore my own inner psyche and my own consciousness. And it really opened my mind to a lot of beautiful experiences. And different faiths too. I remember reading Be Here Now by Ram Dass, and I was just so validated. Everything he was talking about in that book was boom, boom, boom. Wow, this is happening to me. And so, you know, I'm starting to look into yoga. I'm starting to look into meditation. I'm starting to look into Buddhism. And then I start practicing and going down Hinduism. And then where I really find myself is shamanism. Shamanism was really my path, I felt like. And I worked with ayahuasca for a lot. For a few years, probably did about 15 or 20 ceremonies, and the healing that I experienced in those ceremonies was just profound. And I'm starting to form like community and family around that. And it was just I was like, this is it. This is amazing. And so, as you can probably tell in my story so far, I'm a seeker. You know, I'm like, come on, what else is there? Let's keep peeling back the layers, baby. And I'm also a therapist, so I'm doing a lot of my trauma healing myself with all these different kinds of these medicines and modalities. And I'm also seeing trauma therapists and going back into my childhood, healing my wounds. You know, I'm really seeking. I'm really, searching. And with this seeking nature, you know, I'm attracted to conspiracy theories. And you guys are familiar with the Plandemic documentary that came out. You know, I'm not going to say that's 100% true. You know, I don't really know. But I align with some of it, for sure. Yeah. Was virus created? Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And so that really just got me, it's like, I want more of this. There's something else going on here. And so I start looking into other documentaries. I'm looking in Fall of Cabal. I'm looking in Out of Shadows. I'm checking out Age of Deceit. And as I'm like really looking into some of these theories, stuff's starting to make sense. And a lot of these theories, they start to explain to you how everything is set up in our world. And what I've come to realize is that it's a triangle. And us, we're on the bottom, the common people, aka debt slaves. Right? And then the next layer up is the media. It's Hollywood. It's celebrities. It's entertainment. It's the news. Right? That is where we look to get our next source of information that gets delivered and fed to us. And then once you go another layer up, then it's the banks. And then if you go another layer up, then it's corporations. And then if you go another layer up, then it's these headquarter organizations like the United Nations, the Bilderberger Group, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations. And then if you go another layer up, it's this group of families that run the world. The DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Mellons, the Astors, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Van Dynes. No, this is not anti-Semitic. And these wealthy families have been trying to keep their bloodlines pure for hundreds, possibly thousands of years. And they're the ones running the world. And they don't want us to know what they're doing and getting involved in. So they do a very good job of being at the top and making sure that everything that trickles down to us keeps us separated from what's really going on. And that's why we're seeing so much, conflict right now with this whole conspiracy theory narrative these truthers, and then people being like, you guys are you're wackos and you're nut jobs, because these conspiracy theorists we're tuning into actually what's been going on for so long. And they've done such a good job of hiding it from us that those of you who think that we're nut jobs are just, you're appropriately seeing the world the way they were trying to make you see it. They've done such a great job of it. That's all. It's a bit of a reality flip once you start to really dive into it and consider it and open your mind to it. It's so much of a reality flip that subconsciously it's uncomfortable, and we don't want to go there. So these individuals, these families at the top, that's who I was interested in. Like, why are you guys doing this? And so the more I'm looking into these documentaries and just researching and connecting with other people who are checking this stuff out too, where it all leads to is these families are involved in secret societies and organizations. The Illuminati. The Illuminati is what you can, that's kind of the general name for it. But in the Illuminati, there's all these like different kinds of secret societies. And what are they doing in these societies, in these groups? Well, they're engaging in satanic rituals. And that's how they are maintaining their power and their status. It's all about power, right? And they feed and they receive that power through engaging in ceremonial acts with demonic forces. And so I was so curious about this. I was like, I want to see if there's anyone been involved in these things that have come out. And so I go to YouTube, I type in satanic ritual abuse survivors, because they engage in some pretty heinous things with people. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. And inevitably, a lot of videos come up, and all these people have been involved in these rituals. They've come out, and they're all saying the same thing, and they're all from different parts of the world. And that's that these individuals engage in these. They work with satanic entities, demons, Satan himself. Once I watched about the fourth testimony of one of these survivors, it just clicked for me. I was like, everything that they were trying to tell me in church was true. Jesus is true. It's a God versus Satan dilemma. And they tried to teach me about the devil and Satan growing up, but like it never landed. I was like, I'm living a pretty cushy life in my upper middle class white boy life. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, Satan. Yeah. And it took me going to that level of depth of darkness for me to see the light. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I just like start looking into more God stuff, right? And I start watching more of these testimonies, and a lot of these people are saying that like Jesus Christ is the one who can fight this evil, the only one, and Jesus Christ is their savior, their Lord, their healer, their rescuer. And all these things that I've heard growing up in the church are like really starting to come back into my head, and so I start to read about Jesus. I'm like, I want to actually read Jesus's words. So I pick up some of the New Testament, the Gospel of Matthew. I start reading his words, and I just feel, God like coming like back into my life. And he just like fills me up. And it's a love that is unexplainable. It surpasses understanding. And Jesus has resided in me for the first time, because I don't think he ever really did when I was growing up in church. Because I didn't feel God. I didn't feel Jesus in church. Can I get an amen? Because I don't think none of us do. Many of us don't either. Because what we've seen from religion, what we've seen from Christianity, has been a knockoff. Hasn't been what I'm experiencing. It's been some BS. It's been casual, it's been comfortable, it's been let me go and like check off my to-dos so I'm a good Christian. It's like, let me live this way but then not act that way. So I've been just diving in for these past few months with Jesus and just trying to get to know Jesus. Bam. I'm not messing with everything else that's like revolving around him with church, and like I just want to know him. And it has been the best. It's been everything. It's been what I've been searching for. I have not felt a more perfect love than this. He is who he claims to be. He is God made manifest. And he died for me. The whole story is like starting to make sense now. It was a weird story for me to understand when I was growing up. It's like, okay, he died for my sins. What does that even mean? I don't even understand what that means. That's so weird. But I'm getting it now. Like, God created us to be perfect, and then we disobeyed him. And if you're getting triggered by me calling God a him, that's going to be another video. And we disobeyed him, and from that point on, we separated ourselves. And it's been that way. And God was like, okay, well now you're gonna go your own way. You're gonna try to become your own God. All right. Well then, here's the commandments. Here's what I want you to do. Can you follow these? No, we can't. Sin has entered our life. We'll try, but we can't. We fail. And finally, he's like, all right, I will send myself down there to be how I originally intended you to do, to be a perfect individual, sinless, obedient, loving, the epitome of love. And he sent himself in the form of a human named Jesus Christ. And the whole point was for Jesus to say, all the sin, and if you're getting triggered by the word sin, let's make that another video too. I've been going through this stuff, guys. I've had a lot of Jesus trauma, a lot of God trauma that I'm healing, and I'm reconciling it. And so Jesus, he takes on the burden. And then he experiences the wrath of us and a lot of the religious leaders in the time who see him as a threat, because they know that this perfect man that people are starting to follow is going to rise to the top. So he's got to go. And that was the whole plan the whole time. It was prophesied. And so He takes on our separation, our sin, and he dies as the ultimate sacrifice for us to have eternal life. If we understand this, if we then say, Jesus, I want to follow you. You are the way. You are the truth. And I want to follow you and I want to be like you. And when we decide to do that, he comes in and he just changes it all. It's too much for words, as you can see. And it's a free gift. It's free. He's just saying, I'm right here. I'm right here. But what gets us in the way, what gets in the way is just all the Christians who have done it wrong, who have misrepresented him. And I'm inviting you guys to set that aside and to just go straight to the source. Don't go to church. Don't talk to other Christians right now. Just be curious for yourself. Go straight to him. You don't even have to pick up the book, the Bible. That's a triggering word too, eh? It's a personal, intimate relationship that you can connect to in this moment, right after this video. And you can talk to him. Okay. So, yeah, I think that's what I want to say. So, I love you guys, and I know Jesus is a very triggering topic. So, if you have any questions, you want to talk about it, let's talk. Send me a message. Okay, I think that's it. There's probably some more. I'm going to keep talking about this, so there'll be some more videos. Alrighty. I love you guys.